All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to week 14 of Week in Review. This week, Joshua is going to take the reins of this Week in Review and interview me. So over to you, Josh.
Thanks, Tim. Hi, everyone. So I'm sure it's been another busy week in the Tim Murphy household. And I've just got a few questions to ask you, Tim, about your week so all the viewers can understand exactly what you did. So the first question is, how's your progress going with your Impressive Mark business?
Yeah, Josh, it's going okay. I had a better week this week. My brain was working better than it was last week, so that was helpful. And I got a fair bit done on the site. It's taking its time because there's technologies that I'm still learning, principally Angular, but I've been enjoying that, and it's coming along.
Yeah, I can definitely see Impressive Mark going a long way as a business. Where do you think you'll be in a year?
Oh, where will I be in a year? Gee, that's a really good question. Look, what would be nice, basically, if I was able to have $2,000 revenue a month, that would be a real help to our household income. That would, make life easier. So if Impressive Mark could achieve that within a year, I'd be stoked. Is that possible? Well, of course it's possible. But if I could get halfway to, if I could have $1,000 a month revenue from Impressive Mark, that's gross revenue I'm talking about. If I could get that in 12 months' time, that would be a terrific achievement.
And you don't have to go into details or anything, but how exactly are you going to make this money off Impressive Mark?
By charging people it'll be likely it will be an annual subscription rather than a monthly, because I'm considering having it as a low rate to charge people. A lot of similar, a lot of competitors effectively, they charge around the $6 to $8 a month mark, and I'm looking at much lower than that. I think that's a market that's probably out there waiting to be consumed. But given the lower rate, again, no promises, but let's say the $3 to $4 mark, to charge that every month, the overhead would be too high. So I'd look at an annual fee, but with a money back guarantee of 30 to 60 days. And that's how I hope to go about making money out of the business.
Because I'm just looking at Weebly's prices at the moment for their website builder.
Yep.
So to start up, it's free. It's $0 a month. That gives you basic drag and drop builder, free hosting, and unlimited pages. Then you move up to Starter, which is $4 a month, and you can connect your domain. You get expanded stats, email and chat. You get to customize your footer. And then it moves up to Pro, which is $8 a month. So you can email, chat, and phone, password protect pages, lots more security. And then it reaches Business, which is $25 a month, and that unlocks all features, including you can create a shop with coupon codes and shipping and tax calculator on your site. Right.
So, thanks for that. I had heard of Weebly before. I hadn't yet looked at them or had them on my list of potential competitors to look at. So I jotted that down while you were mentioning those details. I'm undecided about whether I'll have a free version. There's a lot of advantages to it, but there's also the disadvantage of that if I decide to go the low end of the market in terms of price, then that doesn't leave margin to carry the free people. So I'm leaning towards that I won't, which I know will hurt me in some respects, but I think I'll also see it as a potential selling point. It'll be on the sales page of like, why don't you have a free offering? And the answer will be along the lines of, so that I can keep the prices for the paid customers as low as possible. So that's one part of the business that I definitely haven't made a final decision on, but I'm leaning towards not having a free offering. But it goes against the trend of web applications nowadays, but it's not totally unique, but we'll see how that decision's still to be made.
And speaking of website builders, how are you going on my joshuamsport.com website? How's the progress going there?
Well, that's all linked into Impressive Mark. Basically, you will be the first 100%, so to speak, Impressive Mark website, and so yeah, it's coming along. I really hope that this week coming, I'll be able to hand it over to you to start adding blog entries to the site. So it'll be very rough in the beginning. It won't be feature complete, but you'll be able to start adding blog posts, and that's my first feature that I'm working on. Well, right at the moment, actually, the feature that I'm working on is the security side of the website. Obviously, a very important aspect. Yes. And what I'm setting up is that you'll be able to log on via your Google account. And again, there's a learning process in there for me. It's something that I have done a bit before, but there's just something different and that I'm learning at the moment regarding that. And that's taking its time for it to sink in as to how that's to work properly. So possibly I'll crack that nut tomorrow. Once I get that sorted out, then the blog post part I think will be fairly easy. So yeah, hopefully, as I said, next week, this week coming, I'll be able to have you in a position where you can add blog posts.
And I'm sure that when I'll get my website and be able to add blog posts, inside my head it'll probably be something like this. So it'll be good times.
Yes, of course.
And keeping on the sports side of things, how's your croquet been going recently?
Yeah, very up and down. It's only I've only been playing club games, and basically the first half of the game I have played really, really well, and then I get tired and the play drops off dramatically as to the quality. Yeah, so up and down, but it's been beautiful weather here in Canberra. Oh, actually today in Canberra, I left home and it was bright and sunny from Queanbeyan, but as I headed in towards Canberra, the fog was well and truly had rolled in, and it was foggy all morning actually. So wasn't bright and sunny this morning, but no rain, so that was good.
That's good. How long does it take roughly to play a game of croquet?
If if you play really well and your opponent doesn't get in, then you can be finished within 45 minutes or so.
That's a bit like tennis, how it can either be really quick or can drag on for quite a while.
Yeah. So if I were to win the game 26-0, that's 45 to 60 minutes. If there's interaction with the opponent, then it can 2 hours or so. If we're playing competitions, typically we have a time limit of 2.5 hours. Now, for the top players, we rarely time out. We rarely go to time. Someone will finish before the time limit, but it is there sort of just in case. So, yeah.
And I noticed on my way to soccer this morning, I saw some croquet. Are they croquet greens? Is that what they're called?
Lawns, croquet lawns.
Yeah, I saw some croquet lawns at Sutherland.
Yep. Hang on. Why is my phone buzzing? Made you look off your screen. Oh, good on ya. So I'm going to turn my phone so I don't get distracted. I've played at Sutherland. I thought as a young, not 100%. There certainly was 1 or 2 times I'd asked your mum to bring you up, and I thought maybe you did once. But
yes,
you were
I think I have been there before.
Yeah. Actually, I do remember. Yes, you did come up when I was playing with Claire Wilson. Yes, I remember now. They used to be quite good lawns. Like a number of croquet clubs at Sutherland, there is an old bowling lawn that they took over. They've got 3 lawns there. As I understand it, the lawns aren't as good as they used to be. It's a nice club.
Yes, I'd definitely love to come play again now that I'm a bit older than I was last time.
Cool.
I think I was 6 or something back then, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought maybe younger actually, but yeah.
And another question about your week in the world of Tim Murphy. How has your stroke brain held up? Any problems this week?
No, it was reasonably good this week, so that was pleasing. I'm not working as long as I was, say, 6 months ago. The neurofeedback that I had 12 months ago seems to be wearing off, but it wasn't too bad. And then yesterday I had a really good day, comparatively speaking. So that was good. And today it's going okay as well. So fingers crossed I can continue at least at this level.
Well, that's good you're holding up. And what are your plans for next week? Where do you hope to be by the end of the week?
By the end of next week, I hope for joshuamsport.com to start to be ready at blog posts. But I hope. I know. But programming can be really hard at times. So
yeah, I've seen my friend Reese program before, and hi Reese if you're watching. But yeah, I've seen him before, and it's lots of like text /12 dash, and it's just so confusing.
It can be, yeah. And particularly when you're working with new stuff, getting so often the documentation's not the best. So there's a lot of trying to interpret what they mean rather than what they say.
And just quickly, I think we still have time. I'd like to let you know about the Matildas game, which is coming up tomorrow. So I'm just going to share my screen now. So the Matildas are going to be playing in the quarterfinal in the FIFA Women's World Cup, and they will be up against reigning champions Japan. So it's going to be a pretty tough game, but I think we might be discussing this a bit more in the next hangout, if I'm right.
That's correct. We will.
Yes. So if you're watching this right now, make sure to tune in for next episode. But yeah, it should be a great game. It'll be on at 6 a.m. So make sure to get up then, because I'm sure you're awake at that time, Tim.
I will be, but it's going to be a tough call. Do I work on your website or do I watch Matildas?
You could do it both at the same time. Bit of inspiration.
No, I can't. Would have been hard enough prior to the stroke, but post-stroke doing two things like that at once, nah, not a good idea.
So I don't have any more questions. Do you have any quick questions for me or anything else you'd like to share, or are we done for the hangout?
No, look, I've just got one more thing to share.
Yes.
Bit of a sad and a happy story. Last Saturday, our youngest budgie, Casper, died. It was completely unexpected. She and Casper and Freddie were running around, happy as Larry, Saturday morning, running around like chooks with their heads cut off, though it was a nice sunny day, so they were both quite excitable. And halfway through the morning, I was at croquet and Nikki sent me a text to say that she thought that Casper was nesting under the lounge because recently we were a bit suspect that Freddie was doing the nasty with Casper. Anyway, I got home and Casper was still under the lounge, and that concerned me, and I had to poke a stick at it to try and coax her out, and there was no movement. And so, yeah, I picked up the lounge and she was dead, and she'd been dead for a while because she was cold. So that was really sad. We were both very disappointed. We'd only had her for 3 or 4 months, and she was only a couple of months old when we got her. Very, as I said, very unexpected and very sad. It was funny watching Freddie. I put Casper in the cage so that Freddie could go have a look, and Freddie sat on top of the cage and turned his head to get his eyeball looking directly down at Casper, and he just peered into the cage for at least 2 minutes. And yeah, it was as though you could hear his brain ticking over going, what's this about? But after he'd done that, he basically returned to the way that he was prior to us getting Casper, singing to the birds outside and flying around, etc. Nikki and I were still unhappy on Sunday, but he had moved on. But then on Monday night, we got a baby budgie, a real baby budgie. It had only been out of the nest since the Thursday before, so 4 or 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
And we named it Aussie because its colouring is green and yellow, so seemed appropriate to call it Aussie, but it is Ozzie. And yeah, it's a real baby. It can't climb the cage yet. It tries and tries, but it's not strong enough. So yeah, we both still miss Casper. She was quite unique, but yeah, we're having fun with Aussie, and Freddie's starting to enjoy Aussie as well.
Well, it's great that you've got a new bird.
Yeah.
So, and just to finish us off, like they do on, big TV shows, I'm going to show a quick highlights reel of the croquet king, Robert Fletcher. So
Cool.
Let me just screen share here. That's Uncle Tim. Say hi, Uncle Tim.
Hello. Okay, well, that's Robert and Paddy's New Zealander walking up in black. I assume that this is the final of the World Championships last year or the year before.
Word got around, all the women in town called him Brutus. It was a cross between Charlie Sheen and Sage. He wore dark socks, green airwalks, and Bermuda. Bobby Jack Miller had a knack for the whacking of croquet ball. It was a fact when he whacked, you could feel it in the back of your ribcage. Hear what I'm saying, you could tell who's playing by the shake of the wall. With his mallet in the air, coming down, you swear it wasn't 12 days. He was a croquet king, got a 9 rings. When he swings that mallet, you can hear him ring. He was a croquet king. So he took his forte and he found him a way to make a living. He was a self-made man with a farmer's tan on his neck. He had a girl named Sophie to carry every trophy and ribbon. But when it came down to money, Bobby's honey never looked at the check. He was a croquet king. He got a 9 rings. When he swings that mallet, you can hear him ring. He was a croquet king. Bobby Jack Miller was killed in Manila by a fly ball. Clobbered by a scamp at a croquet camp in his honor. Missed the other players, went through a couple layers of drywall. He didn't have a chance. It got him in the pants. He was a goner. He was a croquet king. He got a 9 rings. When he swings that mallet, you can hear it ring. He was a croquet king. He was a croquet king. He got a 9 rings. When he swings that mallet, you can hear it ring. He was a croquet king.
You still there, Uncle Tim?
I am. That was sweet. I hadn't seen that one before.
Okay, well, I'll see you for the next hangout.
Okay, mate. I'll stop the broadcast. All right. See you, everyone.
Bye,
Hope you
everyone.
have a good week.